Hi, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of season 3 in Detour Essentials. I am Kathy Goodall. I am a connector of dots, brands, businesses, and people, and I am a leadership and growth coach and a facilitator.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Naomi Garrick, also known as the PR Chick, and I help individuals and brands to stand out in a noisy world by helping them to develop their personal and professional brands and communicating that on and offline.
I don't know what happens. Like I have it planned in my head. I get like nervous. And I turn fool. Hello everybody. My name is Rochelle Cameron, Adrenaline Rush. I am the CEO of Prescient Consulting Services Limited. We are a boutique firm that provides impactful legal, people, and communication strategies for businesses of all types.
Wonderful. So we are so excited.
You know, this is season 3. We're like Netflix. We're like a Netflix show. You know? I wonder if Netflix will carry us. Like we'll have like a Netflix thing and we'll be trending on Netflix.
That would be nice.
For those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. You can catch us here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock on our YouTube or our Facebook page at Ready to Emerge.
Guys, so this has been a really interesting start to the year. We're at day 13 and so much is happening around the world. I just heard that someone has been impeached twice today. Lots happening in the global space. Are we afraid to talk about this? Why does everyone's face look like that?
Well, you know, is that some people aren't able to tweet about what we've said because they're able to. But you know, we are living in some unprecedented historical times. I think only 2 presidents before had been impeached, and now we have 1 president that has been impeached twice. Yeah. What a time. So we are seeing, you know, I think sometimes we underestimate how much we are experiencing, how much of history we are experiencing in our lifetime. And I hope we are paying keen attention because we're going to be the storytellers of history in time to come, and we are living it, but we're not living it like by telegram as our ancestors had to. We are living it live.
In real time.
Yes. Hi, Lorianne. Welcome.
Hi, Lori.
So, guys, we had mentioned last week that we are going to be doing our very first virtual webinar of the year. We're super excited about that. That's going to be on Saturday, January the 23rd. And as we said, you know, 2020 was an interesting year. 2021 is shaping up to be an even more interesting year. But it's a great time for us to reclaim our 2020 and emerge into 2021. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We went through a lot of different things last year, some good, some not so good. But what we want to focus on is some of the great things that happened that we didn't really talk about, right? Because we're so focused on all the other stuff. So this workshop will give you an opportunity to really look back at the year, see what's still relevant, see some of the big wins that still happened and the opportunities that presented themselves to you during that time. And then we're going to see how we can take this into 2021. What are some of the new things we're going to be trying to accomplish as we work into this new year? And not just a new year, we're living in this digital era. So we have to talk about that and ensure that we are all prepared. So the great thing about this webinar, guys, is that our amazing partners, Sagicor, will be discounting our webinar by 100%. So that means there is no cost to you to attend and participate. All you have to do is go on our Instagram page, click the link in our bio, and register for free. I know these ladies don't like that word, but I just want to be clear that 100% discount means it's free. Yeah. So tell a friend, share the information, tell as many people as possible, and let's kickstart the year in a very positive way. We still have 11 and a half more months to go, and so much can change in a minute once you open up your mind to new opportunities. And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So just to see, we have Kemoy on. Hi, Althea from New York City. I have to big up. There is a lady, Jackie Mullins. So Jackie was like my friend's older sister. Jackie is like the hottest. Like she was like who we all wanted to be. I have Jackie on. I still like, she is still my reference point for fashion, for poise. Jackie! Hi, Lady D. Hi, Alicia. Kemoy, always great to see
I don't recall seeing Kemoy last week.
Yeah, we missed her.
Yeah, welcome back.
Kemoy was here last week.
Was she?
Yes.
Kemoy, you were here last week?
Tell us if you're here. Who is not telling the truth?
So the great thing too about this new digital era that we're in is that we have evolved from everything being face-to-face, and now face-to-face is a different face-to-face. So we can be joined by our emergers from all over the world, and we can participate together in this workshop. It's going to be very interactive because this workshop, we actually will open the mics so that people can share also. So it will be like we're in a room together, and it is an opportunity for us to really delve into 2020, but delving in that way. Because, you know, sometimes when we're looking back and we're reflecting, we're like, oh my gosh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. It isn't about that. It is that I still have some dreams that are live. Didn't get to them. I didn't get to them in 2020, but I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. What part of it can we get going in 2021? And as we are even looking at it too, we get to be a group of people that you have some accountability partners, but also that from this experience, you will also meet people who can help you along with your dream. So we're encouraging people to, when we open the mics, that we also share things that we can offer so that we are building the community and the movement. You know, last week we talked about it. You know, as we are entering 2021, you know, we're kind of afraid. We're like, should I be too happy about it because I may be like real disappointed? So we kind of, you know, like when you walk into a room and it's dark and you're like, oh, I should turn on the light. We're saying, open the door, ball out, say you're there, turn on the light and step in. We still have one life to live. We learned a lot from 2020 and we're building on that for 2021. So we're really looking forward to.
You know what it's going to be like, Rochelle? It's going to be like our emerged Detour Essentials, but with all of you guys.
Yes.
That's really what it's going to be like. We want it to be fun, engaging, and interactive. And as Rochelle said, we will get to actually really talk with you guys and have these emerging conversations with our emergers.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So we
super awesome.
Because in the registration, we did ask a couple of questions. So for some people who saw the questions and they're like, if you're like me, because I can admit to a lot of things. Like when I have to register for things and you ask me questions, I'm like, bah humbug, you're too fast. Where was that for? But you know what? It actually helps us to kind of set the stage for who our audience is so that we're able to really tailor the workshop to meet your needs. So since I have introduced this part of it, I will start with Kat. Kat, how did you feel at the end of 2020?
Relieved, first of all. You know, we made it through. So relief, definitely. But I also felt a sense of clarity. And I also was very grateful, especially because I actually got to end the year with my family that I hadn't seen since December the year before. So I was very grateful for that. Yeah.
But Kat, I want to remind you of something. Earlier in the year, when we had done our first workshop and we talked about things we wanted to get done for 2020, one of the big things for you was to spend time with family. I know you didn't plan it this way.
Certainly. Certainly. It's like I'm making up for all the time I didn't come in 2019, 2020.
What about you, Naomi?
Oh, well, thank you for asking me that question, Rochelle. For me, it's funny. midnight, New Year's Eve, when I heard the fireworks going off, I literally started to cry. Because like Catherine said, it was almost like a sense of relief, like, wow, I made it through 2020.
Yeah.
It's a big deal because so many people did not. So I felt grateful to be here and to get another chance at, this life that we have. But what I did though on the 1st of January, which is something I tend to do, I do a bit of reflection of the previous year, which is what I did. And I was really amazed at the things that were accomplished still in 2020 with all that was happening. So again, it was a lot of gratitude, and I ended up feeling very hopeful about what is to come in this year. So how about you, Rochelle? How did you feel at the end of 2020?
Let me say hi to Loretta from London. Hey, Loretta from London.
Hi, Loretta. Loretta was on my webinar last night. She stayed up until 1 a.m. to be a part of the webinar.
Yes.
And here she is again. Wow.
So 2020 was a very funny year for me. 2020 turned out, I think, to be one of my best years. I think too, because the rug was pulled out from me because you know how I like have things organized and planned and processed. And a lot of things I just didn't get an opportunity to process. So all of a sudden, it's like it was just such a year of discovery for me and facing up to things like I'm excellent at procrastinating at things that I'm fearful of, and I could admit that. So a lot of things like the Lord just dipped me in, and I couldn't say no. So it became my year of yes, because I was okay with trying stuff that under normal circumstances I think I would overthink. Mm-hmm. So it was a year of me being able to reflect on accomplishments in the past, but also this new future that I'm like, hey, I can do this. I tell Christian because he keep me up at night. So I have baby brain. So because of that, I just say yes to things and I don't even know what I'm up to. So I have him to thank for that. But I just do believe that if we look at 2020 as this like transition time, and even when you look at goals, and I'm going to share this too at the workshop. I found a journal that I started in 2017 and only filled up like quarter of the pages. And then I found it back and I'm like, this journal is so pretty. And I was going through it and I stopped and I could not stop crying because I saw things that are manifesting now, 3 years later, that I didn't even understand what intention I had when I put it down. I mean, it was just mind-blowing. So a lot of what we'll be talking to about at the workshop is this concept that every dream does not start on the 1st of January.
Right.
And there are a lot of things that we still have in the periphery, that a lot of the discomfort that we feel is just unfulfilled dreams and goals that we think we have to park now because. So we can look at what is that because that we're parking those things. So some things maybe from 10 years ago, maybe from 5 years ago. And what COVID did is that it caused us to have to stop in our tracks, and a lot of things have surfaced. So a lot of the discomfort that we feel is things that have just come back up to the surface, and we've asked ourselves, why haven't I gone after that?
Yes.
So a lot of it is which is why we say it's reclaiming, because a lot of things will not be new. It is actually reclaiming the dreams, reclaiming those goals, and working together to set some milestones for how I'm so excited about it. Like I can't sleep at night. I keep getting up and jotting down things. We get hype about things, so we feel hype about it.
And this will be the first time that you'll be stepping on stage for the new year too, Rochelle.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting. You know, Rochelle gets us going at the start of the year. I mean, I normally go to events that Rochelle speaks at because I need a shot of adrenaline rush.
That's right.
Start my new year. So I'm just as excited. as anybody else that will be participating. I'll be a participant.
Absolutely. So, guys, don't forget to register. You can register on any of our social media platforms at Ready to Emerge. Just click on the link and register, and then you'll get all the information for the workshop. So, of course, moving into the new year, we have to look at the big picture, right? We look at the holistic view of where we want to be. And a big part of that is our health and our wellness. And so for us, it was a no-brainer who we wanted to have a conversation with around this topic of being well. So over to you, Roshi.
Catherine, I find that over to me was a little sudden. You just you
I
started.
thought Kathy was doing a great job. I was like, what's happening here?
So you've been from here like over to you.
And then over here, it's actually catch-free.
No, but you know what, guys? Let me tell you. One of the things we get to do with Emerge Detour Essentials is we get to do exactly what we love, and we get to bring guests on that have inspired us over the years, and that we get an opportunity for you to meet them and meet them exactly where they are. Because sometimes we see people on social media and we start making up stories about them, but we don't understand just where they are coming from. And the lady that we have tonight I like to call her the queen of reinvention, the grand dame of the pivot. She is a fearless go-getter that there is no industry that she tiptoes in. So when we talk about walking into a room and owning your space, she walk in and she said, I'm going to take up space. So she's been an inspiration to many of us because we have watched her develop businesses and reinvent herself and go into different areas as she follows her passion. Yeah. So this lady is Patrice J White. And many of you follow her on Instagram, and you see how she rough up the people them when they're working out, but then you see the before body and the after body. All to them, I never eat too much. I have some pepper in the fridge, I'm well one drink, but I say, Pat wouldn't be proud of me. She would have done me with it. So Patrice grew up in Spanish Town. And after graduating from Merle Grove High School, she enrolled in accounting school. But she's never seen herself as any kind of definition and label. Because after getting a job as an accountant, she worked with Kingston Hub. She had her beautiful daughter, Michaela, who got 700 ones in her CSEC, because she's a fantastic mother too. But this is a woman who works with Kingston Hub, then sees that there is a gap in the entertainment industry for bar service. So what does she do? She don't sit down and say, oh, there's a gap. She's like, I'm going to fill it. But I'm not going to fill it little bit. I'm going to fill it big. And I'm going to create an entire new industry so everybody else have to follow. So she created the premier bar service, Bars to Go. Some of us who are a little older, like Nye, would remember. So many people know her from those days. Naya and Kathy were just saying that they still have her cell number from Bars to Go.
I do. I found that in my phone.
Then she develops a passion for physical training, for weight loss. And she doesn't just take that into, this is just going to be about me. She takes it into just formulating an entire new industry about wellness. And she takes us on her journey so that we can start our journey. And she shares with us openly. And we now see a woman that has pivoted industries, pivoted professions, but at the core is passion. At the core is goal-getting. And at the core is, I'm going to walk in, I turn on that light, and I make myself known because I'm going to take up space. So today, we are so pleased to have Patrice J White take up the space and the Emerge. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, guys. No, rush. So it's when I die, you understand me? You have to come and speak at my marathon because no funeral can take place for me. I have to do a race for me. You understand me? So you have to come and speak at it because that welcome, I don't need anything else.
Rochelle, I feel like you're really gonna have to like create something where you
Yes.
can like create introductions for people like a dub plate, like a Rochelle adrenaline rush dub
Mhm.
plate.
Yep.
No, man. Thank you
Pat,
very
we
much.
are so excited to have you on the show. Happy 2021.
Hi, happy 2021, guys. I'm very grateful to be alive. Very
Yes,
grateful to be alive.
yes, me too. So we heard that lovely, amazing introduction by Rochelle, right? And I know that as Rochelle said, some people that know Pat now didn't know her from Bars to Go, or worse, even before that. So, what I want Pat to share with us is a little bit of our journey. She, at one point, wanted to be a flight attendant. So did I. And then I realized I really don't like flying. From flight attendant to accounting to Bars to Go to being the cocktail queen, by the way, which I'm sure she still is, but I'm sure she doesn't indulge in those things. Right, Pat? But the cocktail queen and now dynamic lifestyle studio where she is the go-to, not only go-to celebrity trainer, but she is the go-to trainer for those that really want literally a dynamic lifestyle to not just change their physical appearance, but everything else in between. So, Pat, start with the beginning. Walk us through your journey to this point.
Well, as you know, as you have shared, and as most people know, I wanted to become a flight attendant, or I wanted to become a bank teller. The bank teller dream, the kind of shut down, because I'm from the inner city. When I went on my first job interview, my very first job interview, just leaving high school into business college, was with one of the most prominent bank in Jamaica. Come to think of it, they're now my banker. Me think about it, they're my banker. I went to do the job interview. Clearly, I wasn't successful with the job, but I remember when I exited that job interview, one of the ladies that was in the interview, she stepped on the outside and said to me, if I want to get a job in the banking industry, I cannot use my Seaview Gardens address. No, I'm a girl from the rural city, man. Nobody uptown, no, so I don't know what address to use, based on what she's saying. So I just shut down that dream. And where my, flight attendant dream is concerned, at the time when you look at the type of persons that Air Jamaica hire, is the prettiest and the prettiest, You understand me? I say, them girls are pretty, I may not think me pretty yet. You understand me? I say? So
You're
clearly that
beautiful,
was,
Pat.
well, then I
She
didn't
knows
think
that
that was
now,
it.
is what she's saying.
So I didn't bother go that route. My first job actually was working with McDonald's fast food restaurant, the international chain that was in Jamaica. So my very first job while going to business college, I was a janitor there. I started out as the person who was mopping the floor. You come into the store, it's me that with the big yellow bucket. Up to this day, I can manage that yellow bucket same way, cleaning the floor. And then I moved on to where I became, thanks to making it McDonald's, I may take your order. Yeah, man, girl, get promotion to the drive-through. So I became I became a cashier, and I was mostly stationed at the drive-through. Then I moved up again where I became an administrative assistant at McDonald's, and then from there I moved up to manager trainee, and then I keep moving up. I moved up to where the last stepping stone for me there was where I would have gotten a store on my own. But then I left McDonald's and I was now given the opportunity, because the fast food restaurant don't really pay good money. So no matter how big the position is, it doesn't pay well. So I got an opportunity to work with a cellular company. At the time, cellulars were becoming the latest thing in Jamaica. You remember them like a brick thing, those long brick things?
Yeah.
Little brick things or big brick things?
Those big brick things. So I got the opportunity to to manage. It was a private entity. The owner at the time, he had his own store on Malines Road, to manage that store for him. And then that was when the calling came for Kingston Up. Actually, when I got the call for Kingston, it was to become their party service manager. I didn't even apply. I didn't even apply for the job. So to this date, I'm still trying to figure out how it is that my resume ended up there. But I got the call for the party service manager position. I was told in the interview that I had no experience. So they couldn't hire me for that position. But the owners of the company, one of the owners of the company actually owned the biggest fast food restaurant that was in Ligani and Papine. And
Yeah.
another of the owner was the one who had a franchise for Taco Bell in Jamaica. So
Mm.
they then say that they were going to hire me as an accounting clerk to provide accounting support for those two establishments. So that was how I ended up at Kingston as a, as an accounting clerk. Now, when I started doing the accounting clerk position, at the end of the first week, I went to my boss at the time and I asked him to train me on the party service because we want the job. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
The company hired two persons at the time, myself and another young lady to become the party service manager. At the end of the first week, she resigned the job. Because anybody that knows about bar service,
Yeah.
you really have to be a very strong character to work in that industry. So I think from her standpoint, that probably wasn't the job for her. From my standpoint, me 15. So it's my job.
Pat,
But
they're saying your volume is a little bit low.
oh, are you hearing me now? Is it better?
Well, we can hear you, but the audience is saying that you're low.
Yeah. Yeah. We're seeing several comments saying that you're very low.
Is it better? Or you want me to use my phone mic? I turn it up. I don't know.
Talk
Anybody
again.
anybody can just tap
I mean,
raise
we
their
can
hand.
hear you super clear,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure why it's coming off low for anybody else.
Tracy, is it better now? Is the volume better now, Tracy?
Maybe the phone volume. Turn up the phone volume and see if that.
One, are you using a headset? All right, is that better?
Yeah, we're hearing you clearly.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
fine. Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead.
Okay, hopefully it's better. Yeah. So I went to my then, boss at the time and asked him to train me on the bar service. So which he did. So for the first year and a half at Kingston Hub, I actually was working as an accounting clerk in the day and in the bar service in the night, not as just as a regular person. Because they then hired somebody to fill the position. So I was like kind of for support. You understand me? Wasn't being paid for it. It's like I'm doing an internship for a position that I wanted. She had the position for 2 years, and then after that, then she moved on. And guess who get the position? Me get the position. Yes. So then I took over the party service. After having my daughter, I then made a decision of branching out on my own into entrepreneurship. And that's where Bars to Go started. Yeah. What else we need to tell them about Bars to Go now?
Well, so I think one thing that is very important about Bars to Go is that you started an entire school partnered with Red Stripe to train people. How did that happen?
So when I started Bars to Go, I know everything about bar service. I know how much ounce of liquor is in a bottle. I know how to set up a bar, to pack a bar. I know how to train the staff, how to deliver, how to produce quotation, bill invoice, usage, everything. You know what I didn't know? Ask me how to make a cosmopolitan for you. I could not. So I was typically one of those business owners, where we depend on persons to run our business, and we don't
Right.
know how to run our own business if something should happen. So if something should happen and we need to step in terms of becoming the mixologist, I didn't know to do that. That changed the first year when I was in business. I went to a bar show in Las Vegas. It's a bar show that takes place every year there. And I sat into one of the seminars, and in that seminar, one of the panelists that was presenting is the king of the cocktail in the United States. An elderly gentleman, Dale DeGroff. If you're in mixology, every mixologist, they must buy one of his books. Because his books, his books are very educational and it teaches you about the mixology world of the business.
Mhm.
So I remember when I sat in his seminar and listening to him talk at the end of the seminar, and button bulb went off in my head. I'm like, okay, I want to become the queen of the cocktail of what he is in the United States, in Jamaica.
Yes.
So when the seminar finished, I went to him, had a conversation with him, where I basically said to him, I want to be who you are back home in Jamaica. And he told me, so he gave me some advice in terms of steps to follow, where to register, training to get, etc. And ladies, let me tell you, man, I never know nothing at all about bartending, mixology, nothing until I went and did those. He had a program with his business partners, their program. It was the first time that I went to do any program.
Mhm.
You heard that, don't it?
What?
You heard that? Oh, okay,
No.
okay. So it was, sorry, I missed it, sorry. So it was the first time I went to do a program where it's supposed to be a practical program. And when I went in, I have books upon books upon books where there is no cocktail image in it. And when you think about mixing, you think about bartending, you think
Pretty
about
cocktails.
exactly. I think about pretty cocktails and you're gonna make the pretty cocktails and all these
Yeah,
things.
garnish and those things.
Like garnish and all those stuff. What they taught us was they started educating us about spirits. Because until you can make the cocktail, you have to really know where the spirits come from. Oh, you understand? The fermentation process, everything that goes behind the scene of bottling that rum, bottling that vodka, bottling that whiskey, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
So when I came back now, I decided that I must change, or I must be one of the person who change the industry in terms of how it is that persons view bartenders. Because the reality of it is, before bartending explode, if somebody comes to you, or your child comes to you and say to you, then, hey mom, I want to become a bartender, you can take up your broomstick and start beat him or her left, right, and center, and say, bartender, me send you go school to become a bar. You must be crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly, because when you think of bartender, what do you think of? You think of the ladies them that work the bars, they work week on, week off. Them like a rum bar there. There was no sophistication in terms of what mixology is, and stuff like that. The cocktail world wasn't even soaring then. You understand me?
Right.
So I came back with the knowledge now and the intention of starting a school to educate Jamaicans on what bartending is, what a mixology is, what a mixologist is, and what is mixology, because there are three different things.
Yes.
You understand me? A mixologist can be a bartender, but a bartender is not a mixologist. When you ask the basic information of what are the 6 base spirits, you will hear a bartender saying rum, vodka, and then hear them call vodka, but hear them now, Smirnoff, Sky, and them listen, rum cream, and it's a basic stuff like that. So if they don't know what the 6 base spirits are, how are they going to create marvelous craft cocktails? Another thing is because we live in the tropics, when you go to the bar and you ask for example a daiquiri, you know what the bartender do? Them throw some mix in a blender with ice and start blend it up. You understand me? A daiquiri is it's not a frozen drink. It's one of the classic cocktails. It's a shaken drink. But our bartenders didn't know that. You understand me? Even to this day, when I go to certain establishment and I ask for example a daiquiri, the minute I see them go to the blender, I say, we are mixing now, Papa. We are mixing now, Mama. And confidently, they'll say to me, you asked for a daiquiri. I said, okay. So I entertain them. And I say, okay, what kind of daiquiri it is that you're making? And they'll say to me, I'm making a strawberry daiquiri. I said, but I didn't ask for a strawberry daiquiri. I asked for a daiquiri. Do you know what a daiquiri is? Do you know the history behind how it is that the daiquiri gets name, where it's coming from, etc.? They don't know that. You understand me? So I have to be educating them in terms of it's a shake and drink, teaching them the history behind it and stuff like that. My
Yeah.
husband hates going out with me to bars if we're going to go out to drink. As a matter of fact, when we go out, he will be like, I'm going to the bar. Where you say, what, whiskey and ginger ale, me get it for you. Or a glass of wine, me get it for you. You understand me? Because then it turns out to be, you go to the partner,
Listen.
public
Yes.
date night and thing, and you end up in a full-fledged conversation in terms of telling them.
Cool.
Because
Yeah.
even though I'm no longer in the industry in terms of industrial, because I do
Yeah.
private events same way, I'm no longer in industry in terms of industrial, you get where I'm coming from? It is
Yeah.
my duty to ensure that up-and-coming bartenders do understand what cocktails are, you understand me, how to make cocktails, how to balance a cocktail, to make sure that they create the experience that their customer is going to leave with and come back and ask back for them, because so they make their money.
I mean,
And
one of the
that is
things I remembered, Pat, with you as well is that if you want exotic cocktails, or if you really want that wow effect at an event, this is the woman that you'd have to go to, and she would create these things.
Yeah.
That I believe you are the first person to start using what we call dry ice.
nitrogen, liquid
smoke
nitrogen,
cocktails, right?
molecular mixology and all these things. Yeah.
Yes.
Fancy.
You have to, Naomi, it comes back to whatever business it is that you're in, you have to invest in your craft. That's the only way you're always going to stay on top of your business, on top of your profession, and you're always going to stay ahead of your competitor. So when your
Yes.
competitor catch up to you and reach your level, you already gone 10 level ahead because you've gone on to the next best thing. And
Yes.
that was what land me the contract with Red Stripe. Because at the time, I'm still a small company where the school is concerned. You get where I'm coming from? And I went to Red Stripe, had a conversation with them, gave them an idea in terms of, hey, we need to change how it is that person's view a bartender. And the only way we're able to do that is by certifying bartenders. Let
Yes.
bartenders understand what it means when we say to them that, hey, you're a bartender. Hey, the next step from bartending is you're going to become a mixologist. The next step from being a mixologist, you're going to become a master mixologist. You get where I'm coming from? And then from there, if you want to take the push the envelope a step further, you want to become what's called a bar master, where you're the best of both worlds in terms of chef and mixing. How are they going to do that if we remain uneducated? Because at the time, the school in Jamaica that was teaching bartending, you understand me, was teaching book bartending. Where when you take a book list from them and you go on Amazon, the edition that they're giving you is like the 10th edition. And when you go on Amazon, the edition that Amazon have is the 30th edition. How are you as a bartender in an industry that keeps changing every month? Are going to stay on top of your craft, or are you going to compete with our international counterparts if we're still behind?
Yeah.
We can't. So when we enter competitions, we can't win.
When we hear you talk about bars to go and the academy and being queen of cocktails, and for some people who don't know about that part of your history, they're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Because everything you do is with such passion. So they're like, how we move from bars to go. How we got here?
So for me, I fell out of love with the industry. I went through a divorce. You understand me? So I went through a divorce, and anything that reminds me of that previous life, I wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing. You understand me? And it's so this new profession that I'm in, like I'll say to my clients, we lose weight when something tragic happened to us. You understand me? And because of that tragic event, we're able to lose weight. But then the minute we're good again, the weight comes on. You get where I'm coming from? For me, I fell out of love with the industry. I went through a bitter divorce. So I wanted nothing at all to do with the industry. And I wanted nothing at all to do with anything that reminds me of that previous life. So, it was really a challenging time for me, because you're thinking about killing a company that you build from scratch.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? Killing a company that you invested a lot in terms of time, in terms of education, where money is concerned, in terms of traveling, learning, knowledge.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? Killing a company where the brand is very, very strong.
Where you
I'm
are
coming
the
from?
leader in the market.
In the industry.
Exactly. But also, it is also one of the things that makes me successful in anything it is that I do, because I have a passion for what I do. I'm able to push myself in that, immerse myself in that, push that brand. If I no longer in love with what it is that I'm doing, then those persons when you go to them, those customer service companies, you go to them and you call the staff, and the staff is like, yeah, okay, I'll pass on the message. They're turning up for the job because they're getting paid for the job, but they don't love their job. And anything it is that I do, I must always be 100% authentic to myself, because it is also a part of my brand. It's a strong factor in what my brand is.
Wow.
So, Pat, you said that at one point you were 210 pounds. I don't think I knew you at that time, and I think I've known you for a long time.
Girl, made it fluffy. Where you there?
But you said that you tried every diet imaginable and nothing worked, and you realized that it wasn't until you got your mind right
Mindset
that you started to see results. So why is mindset so important? And do we need to wait until we get our mind right to actually get our stuff together and start exercising and eating right?
Because of COVID, no, we're not going to wait until we get our mind right. We have to make sure that we're healthy. Now, for me, I struggled as always a skinny person until I got pregnant. Right up to when my daughter was like 7-8 months. I was 7-8 months pregnant. I still wasn't big. You understand me? I still a smaller frame carrying pregnancy. After having my daughter, girl, I don't know what, but this a girl that just eat down the place left, right, and center. And the weight just keeps coming on and on and on and on. When she was 2 years of age, I actually did a tummy tuck. I did a liposuction because I was unhappy with how my tummy looked. My daughter was 2 months old. 2 years old, and I looked like I was 10 months pregnant. So I remember going to, the Ripon Road to the center that I did the liposuction, had a consultation with the doctor. My tummy was like this, and him say, I'm not going to bring your tummy is not going to move from this to this. That's not possible. But your tummy can move from this to this. It's going to move naturally because that's the amount of fat they could take out. So after me do the lipo, so the belly come back. So I say cannot change. Then what I started doing anything that is called diet. You understand me? So I tell my clients and I tell anybody that I have a conversation with in terms of weight loss, diets work. It's not like they don't work, They do work because it comes down to calorie deficit. You're putting in less in your body than what you're burning, so diets are going to work. But every time I do a diet, like example, I did the liposuction, belly come like a flattish. But the minute I start eating back, what happened? I went back to square one. Then I did the 8CG. When you 8CG diet, I don't remember if that's the correct name. The one where you inject yourself. I did 2 cycles of that. The first cycle I lost 20-something pounds. I gained 30-odd pounds back. The minute I start eating, I gained 30-odd pounds. The second cycle I lost less weight, and I still gained more than I lost. I did the Beyonce diet, the Atkins, the lemonade, any diet that is out there, I did it. You understand me? And when I lose weight, guys, here when I lose weight. So I was in an industry also where I'm in a bar industry. I'm around liquor, you drink. My job also contribute to why it is that I do it. Cool? When I lost weight? When I started going through my divorce, I want to tell us anything trauma, you understand me?
Yeah.
So the little money when I get the doctor to do the liposuction, if I had only waited years later, I would I get a flat tummy. You understand me? I say? Because I lost the weight. I lost the weight and I got very, very skinny. Not toned what you see now, just straight skinny.
Yeah.
But then what happened? I started dating. You get where I'm coming from?
Good life.
Good life. So, I'm a good life start reaching again. And what happened? The weight comes back on.
Yeah.
You understand me? I met my husband, and then that just take it to a different level. New relationship go. You know, go out, I wanna go drink wine, I wanna go eat, I wanna this.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. You understand? And then January 2015. So when I met my husband, I never did put on back so much weight yet. You get where I'm coming from? And Don was chubby. You get where I'm coming from? Anybody knew my husband then knew that he was chubby. And when we met and was, the weight now getting out of control and thing, we both decided that we were going to go on the journey together.
Yeah.
The thing about him is that he has an old school injury in terms of tracks that affects his spine. So when he started doing aggressive exercise, it then put him back. So he was not able to work out. So what I did was ensure that he was eating clean. So over a 6-month period, every day him go work, him carry him lunch, them trouble him a flow, him live out time lunch bag and all these things, etc. And my husband lose 1 bag of weight, have oops. You understand me? Oops. And Pat enjoy good life, happy life. Pat just I get fluffy and round. So when you look on pictures of us, you understand me? You have him sexy out with oops. You understand me? And Pat just round up. Cool. Then in that time frame, I started a running club. Cause
Yes.
I really wanted to
I forgot about that, Pat.
Sonic Steppers. And again, so I started a running club for the mere reason because I wanted company to run with. It turned out to be one of the biggest running club in Jamaica. I had partnerships with a whole heap of different corporate companies. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It was, to this day, I still have people upset with me because I merged the club with Dynamic because I couldn't manage both. You understand me? And give the same type of investment that I want in a running club and running a gym. So I had the running club, and everybody in the running club was either losing weight, getting faster, and Pat was still taking almost an hour to do a 5K. You understand me? So
How long do you take to do a 5K now, Pat?
My fastest 5K is 23 minutes something.
Wow.
Yeah. So in January 2015, that was when it all changed. That was the year I was getting married. And that was also the year when my husband run the joke with me that people know you can't run with me. Do not ask me if I'm pregnant. Remember, so guys, when I got fluffy, I became very insecure about my tummy. And it's very obvious if I went and did liposuction on my tummy. So I was fat, and I never draw no fat from anywhere else, not just the tummy alone they have a problem with. You understand me? So I remember one night Don and I were here, and him turn over and he's like, so babe, when you give birth, when you have baby.
Wow.
You understand me? Yeah, man. That sense of an emotional bulb in me. That was January. It was near the end of January 2015. I remember going upstairs. We women we take quick pictures as usual, before. You understand me? And this time when I took my before picture, I remember saying to the mirror, which is really myself in the mirror, saying like, Pat, you're going to do it this time. And when you do it, it's going to stay off. You're going to do it the right way, and it's not going to come back. Along with the fact that, you understand, but they have like, some like a motivational support in terms of people didn't believe that I could lose the weight. You understand me? So, that pushed me, people don't believe I could lose the weight because according to them, even the trainer that I was paying to train at the time was discussing me behind my back that I'm lazy. Wow. Yeah. So when you have everything come to forefront, that became my why. That it hurts at the time, but I needed that why. Motivation. And that was the why that changed my life. You understand me?
Yes.
I no longer wanted to be the member for my running club, the president that is crossing the finish line out of the group last. I didn't want to be the person where when I just started running, I tell people who they can't believe. I remember we had a run from Barbican Beach that brings us Barbican Beach, up Salisbury to Barbican, up Barbican.
Yes.
And when I reached at right there at Salisbury, I couldn't manage a hill. I literally couldn't manage a hill. And it's a group of runners that, we invited other persons to come and run with us that were not club members.
Yes.
And everybody took off. And I could not make it up the hill. I was like, so when everybody passed, I sat on a stone there. I cried, and I walked back to Barbican Beach, and I never finished that run. There are other instances where we went to Airport Road, because Airport Road is also one of our main running spots, or the Palisados. And you ladies must know Lindsay. Lindsay can share the story with you guys. So we would run from the gas station at Harborview, park there, run from the gas station to around arrivals at the airport and back. And when you reach back at the tail, where the airplane tail is, Pat can't make it back. 2 times we have fan down vehicle. One of them was we literally beg a drive to carry us back to the gas station. The second time we fan down was a taximan, and the taximan all the iPhone we wet and ting. And so with all of these things, it became fuel for me where nobody now go skin up them face at me, because I am, me I try to lose a little weight, but I'm not really there 100% because my mind wasn't right.
Yes.
So this time I decided that, here what, I'm not going to be doing the crazy diets. You get where I'm coming from? I am going to do it the right way, which is eating clean and embracing the workout. So I'm not going to be going on the scale every week, seeing if the scale moving. I care not if the scale move. I want to know that I'm doing it right. And that is when it happened on Connect. If anybody tell me some would I run all over the world, or fall in love with fitness, or say to me that, yo, you don't own a gym, I'd be like, me? You must be mad. It's a girl and I run unless a cake when I give me. You understand me? You get where I'm coming from? But my own journey of going through my transformation between the end of January to, I use my short-term goal then was Carnival that year, Carnival 2015. I'm going to turn up at Rise Up, which was Easter weekend, and I'm going to turn up in swimsuit, and I'm not wearing no cover-up. I'm going to go to Maribana. I'm going to go into swimsuit. I'm going to wear no cover-up.
I remember those pictures.
And I'm going to jump into the impious costume. I'm going to wear no cover-up. So that became my short-term why.
Yeah.
So I moved. When I started that journey, I was actually 205 pounds. And between that time frame at the end of January, when I came back from Miami Marathon, because that was a week when my husband ran a joke with me when I was going away to run a half a marathon. When I came back from Miami Marathon to Rise Up, I moved from 205 pounds to 136 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Pat.
So, Pat, some people believe that being healthy means that you have to be extreme. It's a total lifestyle change, diet, exercise every day, I lift some big heavy weights. I love to eat, right? And I exercise because, yes, I want to be healthy and I want to be fit, but I also want to be able to eat anything that I want, right? So how do you, as a coach and a trainer, balance between what your clients want and what's in their best interest?
First of all, from I see Pat fold her arms like that, she gone straight into coaching mindset. That's
all right. So Kathy, let me answer your question. I'm going to use myself as an example. I can name this country into poverty. Yeah, man, I'm an eater. You understand me? So when I have clients like myself who genuinely love food, you get where I'm coming from? You can't say to them to eliminate. Because you know what happened? I'll go back to what I said earlier. Diets work.
Yes.
But they're not sustainable. You get where I'm coming from? Because you love the KFC. And I'm saying to you that KFCs are no, strictly no. What's going to happen when you're no longer not doing the thing that you love? Your body's going to crash. You understand me? So what I do is, for the persons who have short-term quick goals, so like example, if you have a goal, you're going to jump Carnival. You get where I'm coming from? I will say to you, okay, so we're doing this over a 12-week period. The first 4 weeks, you're going to become very, very strict. Very, very strict. It's about ensuring that you're in that calorie deficit. You get where I'm coming from? So when you're in that calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight because you're inputting less than what you're burning. The thing that you love, if it's a cheesecake, if it's a glass of wine, you're going to now do a 1 glass of wine. You understand me? Once per week. If it's a cheesecake, you're going to eat the half a cheesecake. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So it comes back to you have to make sure that you're still in that calorie deficit. And then now you're going to make sure that your cardio is there. You understand me? Now, for me, people think that, especially with myself, because I lost a lot of weight over a short period of time, I am driven by challenges. You understand me? I become very, very bored easily.
Yeah.
And this is why I train how it is that I train. You will not see me in the gym every day, example, doing bicep curls. You understand me? If I'm doing bicep curls, there must be some sort of challenge to how it is that I'm doing the curl, and I'm mixing it up with something else. So for me, I'm strictly driven by challenge. I have to push myself. But then you have customers who they are not strong like me, or they have health issues, or they have probably a knee issue or a back issue, so they're not able to do certain things. Working out 5-6 times a week don't mean that you're going to lose weight now. Because if your nutrition not right, you still not lose the weight. You get where I'm coming from? I have customers who all they do, they only work out 3 times a week. Especially now with COVID. I have Zoom customers. My Zoom sessions are 45 minutes. You understand me? And when I post my Zoomers results, people are shocked. And these Zoom customers, they are only working out, some of them are only working out 3 times a week, 45-minute sessions, and they're only training using what it is that they have at home, but they're still able to lose weight. So it is training smart, training strategically, you understand me, and eating clean that gives you the results that you want. But all 3 of them go hand in hand. You understand me? Along with discipline and consistency.
The discipline.
That's what it comes down to. Discipline and consistency.
So Pat, I just want to jump in for a minute, right? So a lot of people know you now, right, in the dynamic lifestyle space, and that's probably the only space that they have interacted with your brand. But what I recall is how that really came about before we even get to Pat and Ellie, right? Is that Pat was known as a trainer that would show up at her customers' place of work or at their home and see what they're eating. And the videos of what is in the fridge, what them help her cook, what is whatever.
I still do.
Then we would also see the punishment that would follow.
I still do that. Yes, I still do that. I actually still do that.
Run away from Patty now. I'm like, no.
Right.
See, the thing about it, guys, again, keep it real. Me the lazy, you know. Me lazy. And I guess that's why it took me so long to lose. I can't say the baby weight now, the teenager weight.
Right.
You understand me? So because I know how I was, I have friends. I don't know if any of you guys know Carlington Silburn. I know Carlington from Bars to Go days. Me and Carlington was a fit person. I was the unfit person. That's the Carlington I know. You understand me? Carlington, when I was trying to lose weight, Carlington would turn up at my house for me and him to, go Mountain Spring or wherever. And I used to hide underneath my bed. I hide from Carlington. Big woman like me. Big woman. Yeah, man. Yeah, but I keep it real. You get where I'm coming from? So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm able to identify with my customers a lot, because what? I was them.
That was you. Yes.
When they come to me with the nonsense and the stories and the excuses, I know exactly when I get it, because I used to be them.
You're going to know that you have to be them.
You understand me? I used to be the client who, you turn up at the gym and the trainer say, so you did eat the broccoli and the chicken yesterday for dinner? I say, When it's six spicy bun, me eat. You get where I'm coming from? So, because I know I used to be that person, you get where I'm coming from? Me I turn up at your yard. Worse if me I have trust issues, me I turn up at your yard. Because my program, I am not the trainer. I tell my clients, and my clients will even tell you, me not cheap. I am not cheap, and I am not going to play the pricing game. You get where I'm coming from? I've been in this industry from 2016. And I'm not tooting my horn, guys. We're just keeping it real. I paid my dues. You get where I'm coming from? And as such, I
And it's
charge
okay
from
to toot your own horn.
and as such, I charge for my time. You get where I'm coming from? So I'm not cheap. So the first thing I'll say to my clients when they come to me is, no, come to me expecting to waste your money. I am not the trainer who you're going to turn up to for the next 10 years, and I'm keeping you at the same point because I want to collect your money. You understand me? If you get your results over the next 3 months, and then after 3 months, because that's what you budget to, you can't afford to pay me anymore, that's fine. Because my result speaks for itself. So after getting that results from you for over the next 3 months, I will get 3-4 customers off you. You get where I'm coming from? My program is a results-driven program, not just to lose weight quickly, but to maintain that weight loss. So when I see you, I have clients that I've trained from in 2016, 2017. I have not trained them since. They are no longer working out, but they have still maintained that weight loss.
Yes.
You understand me? Because I do not teach you about starving yourself. You can't turn up in my Zoom session or at my studio and tell me, you know, all I ate was just broccoli and chicken. Where the carbs there? The carbs, the energy, you know. I give you 10 burpees and you pass out. Come, left it on the floor and continue. When you come back tomorrow, no, say you need to eat and work out. You understand me? You have to understand that you cannot have a love-hate relationship with food. Food is fuel. Food is fuel. If you need to lose weight, you have to eat carbs. If you need to grow muscle, you have to eat carbs. That's the reality of it. You understand what I'm saying? You not eating carbs don't mean say you're going to lose weight. It's like everybody going vegan. They think that if you go vegan, you're going to lose weight. But show me a fit vegan. No, show me, sorry, not a fit. Show me a skinny vegan who is not fit. The only way they maintain that lean lifestyle is because they are fit. They're into fitness. The person who is doing vegan, you understand me? If they're not into fitness, you look at them and you're shocked when they say to you, you don't eat meat. You're like, really? You sure? You get where I'm coming from?
Pat, so after we saw you invading people's homes and their cupboards and their workplaces, we then saw another set of dynamics come out with that relationship between you and Ellie, which is what I honestly think really blew up your brand in the social media space. Right?
It is. Ellie is one of those clients that Ellie and I have a love-hate relationship. Love him. And he will tell you. I have customers who will reach out to me to train them. And if I think you're going to waste my time, I tell you no. And I met Ellie in 2016 through Nikki Z. And from 2016, Ellie wanted me to train him. And if you ever hear him tell a story, you laugh left, right, and center. Oh, may I run down this trainer lady, and this trainer lady will give me all wrong times, and and camera around the corner, and every year. So it's like, Ellie called me in 2016, me give Ellie some story. Ellie called me in 2017, me give Ellie some story. Ellie called me in 2018, me give Ellie story. Ellie turn up at the gym. I just make sure someone there at the gym. Cool. And then he called me in 2019. And when him called me, he wasn't a nice guy anymore. He was like, so what? My money not good enough? My money not good. In typical Ellie style. You get where I'm coming from? My thing is it was my interpretation of who Ellie is. Remember, Ellie is the energy god, the pretty hair and thing. Indiscipline.
Surely.
So my interpretation is, if I say to this young man to come to the gym at such and such time, I'm going to be at the gym waiting on him. I'm going to have them time the 4 weeks. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
2 weeks into training him, I had to apologize. He is one of those public figures that I train. Moses is the next one. If I say to them 8 o'clock, they are there at 8. If they're not going to be able to make it for whatever reason, they are calling you and they're telling you, I don't have to sit down and wait. You understand me? So 2 weeks into the whole drama with me and Ellie, I had to apologize to him. Now, for the first Ellie and Pat video that went viral, I remember when he came to the studio full of people, come in him give somebody him phone and say, video me. And he will tell you, I'm like, video you? You're either here to work out or you're not here to work out. Video you? You think this is a production company? You understand me? And by the evening, the video went viral. I call Ellie, me a freak out. I'm like, Ellie, oh my God, you have me on Dear Dream? Oh my God, you know all them attack people. I said, Ellie, I can't train you. This is crazy. And he's like, Pat, every publicity is good publicity. I'm like, Dear Dream, Ellie, you know, I try hard to stay off of that website. Yeah, and it's not like there's anything wrong with the website, but you know, them followers go hard.
Deadly.
Yeah, man, them go hard enough. I'm genuinely afraid. And he's like, you understand what I'm saying? I even said to him, I said, no more camera can't come on my studio. And you know, but
look at where it is now, Pat.
The rest is history,
where celebrities want to go to be trained, because maybe they live in other places where they're not pushed to the point that, I mean, you obviously are not afraid to talk to anybody any way you want.
No, because you're paying me for my time.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to, you know.
Right?
And exactly, you see, as a trainer, you have to understand that your clients and you are not friends. They're paying you. You get what? Even if your client is your friend, they're paying you. You get where I'm coming from?
Yep.
So if you're really serious about your profession, you get where I'm coming from? You are going to ensure that you stand your ground. So it's either they're there to work out or they're not there to work out.
Yeah.
And you know, it's because of Ellie also, I was able to transition digitally. Always that I wanted to transition digitally because of those videos that went viral. And me never know so people know Ellie. I kid you not. I went Barbados in December 2019 to do a race there, and I was in the hotel and people come up to me. Yeah, Ellie trainer, people are threatening me. I remember running, we're doing our morning runs, and people I drive down and I threaten me. I don't want to see a beat up Ellie tomorrow. And I'm like, what? You know, it was eye-opening for me. You get where I'm coming from? The amount of people that genuinely love Ellie.
Yeah. And love the excitement.
And love the Pata beat up Ellie drama. And then when Ellie get him payback,
Pat, though, one of the things just listening to you, the same passion that you had with Bars to Go, and even when you were mopping the floor at McDonald's, and I just see that passion transition as you talk about dynamic lifestyle. And it just really hit me how you see reinvention. You just do it. And you know, as our emergers are looking at 2020, you know, you said there's a point that you fall out of love with the thing that you were very much in love with. And sometimes it's so difficult for us to release it, let go, and start something new.
Yeah.
What is it about you that drives that ability to reinvent? Is there something in your past, how you were raised, or is it a mindset that has just developed over time? Because I know a lot of people are like, how do you switch these things with the same passion and still
at different levels
and to be in the top 1% of whatever it is that she does?
All right. So initially in the beginning, as I said, in the earlier part, I'm from the inner city. You understand me? I have a very rough inner city life. Bounce about left, right, and center. Very, very rough inner city life. So for me to get out of the inner city, I had to be successful. That was how I view it. As long as I'm being paid for whatever job it is that I'm doing, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I remember when I was working at McDonald's, I didn't have the funds to go to university. My schooling was sponsored for me to go to business college. So it was either I had two options: go to business college or go back to sixth form. You understand me? And I went for business college because I'm looking at, okay, so if I have a diploma, I can reach further with a diploma at the time versus A levels, if you get where I'm coming from, because I can't afford to go to university. So the next step from A levels would be university, and I need to go the next step, which would be working. So When I started working at McDonald's, that I was going to business college in the day, working in the night. My classmates that I was at high school with were now in sixth form. I remember they came into McDonald's. You know, McDonald's now is a school
Yeah.
spot after school, etc. And they laughed at me. You understand me? You know, they're not shocked to know that I'm the janitor in the place because, you know, when I was, you know, as a problematic child at school also, I was always getting in trouble, fights and stuff
Yeah.
like that, etc. So they, for them, they weren't shocked seeing me working at McDonald's. You get where I'm coming from? So, but for me, working at McDonald's, even though I couldn't manage the bucket, I was wiping the floor to the best of my ability because I keep aiming for a higher position. The
Yes.
harder I work, I will get promotion. You get where I'm coming from? The only job title I had at McDonald's that I didn't get a promotion for, I actually went for that position. I used qualifications for that was the administrative assistant position. Because when you know, by that time now I realized that I have 5 6 subject. I may do a diploma in accounting and management. I met the criteria to become an administrative assistant
Yes.
there. So I went to the GM, you understand me? Had the conversation with the GM and I was given that position. But every other position is in order for me to move one step farther away from my inner city life because I'm tired for going a bathtub when gunshot of fire left, right, and center. If you know you have to go into sea view at X time, you can't walk on the road at certain times. You get where I'm coming from? I had to have money to do that.
Yeah.
So when I went to Kingston Hub, and even though I was hired in a particular position, you understand me? My goal was I want the job that you told me I could not get.
Yes.
Yes.
You get where I'm coming from? You have to
Yeah.
have that drive, you know. So my drive before my daughter was to become successful so I can move farther away from the life that has scarred me as a child. That life as I've lived through era leader rape and stuff like that with that life. So I need to get away from that life. When I have my daughter now, then my passion and my drive change because my drive now is I now have a child. She cannot live anything it is that I lived.
Yes.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And I now have a child. The things that I wish I was able to do as a child, she will now be the one that do it. You understand me? The unfortunate thing for her is that me live my life through her childhood.
Yeah.
You understand me? You know, I'm sure there are things she didn't want to do where she have to do because
Poor
me, mommy say, yeah, do it. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was in the bars to go stage, my driving factor was my company must become successful for two reasons. Because I want to continue my education, and that is how I'm going to be able to continue my education by
Yes.
now self-funding my education. You get where I'm coming from? And the second reason is I should be able to give my daughter whatever education it is that she wants because she never asked for me to bring her here. You get where I'm coming from? But she is now here, so I must be able to provide for her. If she wants to go to a particular college and she get in, I don't want to look at her one day and say to her, say, you know, hi, I'm still here.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I saw the screen like it changed. Yeah, I don't want to say to her, boy, you know, I really want to go Harvard, and I'm happy you get into Harvard in a max. But where am I gonna get Harvard money from? If you get where I'm coming from.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, that was my mindset then, along with the fact that I was no longer behind the bar when I was doing bars to go. Remember when I went for my mixology certification,
Yeah.
I built myself as a brand, which is the same thing I did with Dynamic. So you have bars to go itself as a very strong brand, and then you have Patrice Wilson McHugh as a very strong brand. You
Yes.
understand me? So where you have corporate companies that they need to go on television to do any mixology thing, Patty's who they call.
That is the person. Yeah.
Yeah, I have companies flying me. So I never really become the flight attendant, but you know the traveling thing that take place. I have companies flying me all around the world. You understand me? For me to teach their staff bartending and
Yeah.
mixology. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Why? Because I fell in love with it. It now becomes a passion of mine. So I'm not just a business owner. I know the whole creating a cocktail and have people sipping your drink and you understand me? You
Yeah.
know, that alone was just a driving factor for me.
Yeah.
And this is why it was so hard for me to walk away from it because I built my name as a brand. And I had a name that I didn't want to be associated with anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from?
Mhm.
Even when you say to people, it's Patrice Wilson McHugh or Mrs. McHugh, and I'm like, oh my God.
Boy, I'm not telling a lie, Patrice. Yesterday, I changed your last name in my phone.
You see all them things there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate. My ex-husband and I right now we're in a good place and we're good friends now. You get where I'm coming from? Because we both have the same thing in common, the love for a child. You get where I'm coming from? But
Yeah.
at the time, I wanted nothing at all
Yeah.
to do with my name, my name was a problem. My name, I'm keeping it real, guys. My name was a problem because I built my name as a brand. So I started hating myself. When the whole transformation journey of myself took place in terms of I was just posting online what it is that I'm doing, my workouts, stuff like that, etc. And people started asking me questions, people asking me advice, people asking me for tips and stuff like that. Then, just helping people
Yeah.
become it keeps me motivated. You get where I'm coming from? And that was when that aha thing clicked like, hey, you do have people like me who are lazy, who are demotivated, but genuinely want to lose the weight and would wish that they have a trainer who would say, yo, how we are the man, come, we are do this. You get where I'm coming from? Not the trainer where you're going to pay a gym fee, you don't turn up, you turn up for the first week, or you turn up first day and you get sore, and when the soreness kick out, you turn up again, and you sore again, and they don't business about that, but when feed it for you, them say, hey, Rushy, remember if you carry my thing tomorrow when you come here? You get where I'm coming from? They
Yeah.
want that trainer who they're able to, even though I go hard on Instagram in terms of my own workout, they're
Yeah.
still able to relate with me because I was there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I now become inspiration for them because if Pat did lazy and Pat was taking almost an hour to run a 5K and Pat hated running and Pat turned back and Pat this and Pat that, I can do it.
Yeah.
They're not just looking at example that fit buff guy.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from, where they think that that goal is unattainable. They're
Yeah.
now saying it is attainable because I've seen it with her. You understand me? When I put on weight, I'm not afraid to tell my clients, I'm like, yo, I shall learn some food this holiday, you understand me? I say, come here, enjoy myself. But here what? I also know to take it off.
Yeah.
So holiday done, it's back to business. You
Yes.
get where I'm coming from? I'm not going to be like, okay, so I'm going to do a quick diet. No, it's back to business. Continue doing the things that I know I need to do to lose the weight that I need to lose. So it's
Yes.
that same passion now that drives dynamic. When I see when I have a 78-year-old client that I train,
Wow.
and she came to me for arthritis purpose. You understand me? I remember she could not even do a push-up. So when I have her doing push-up, I have to have her on her elbow, trying to hold a plank on her elbow and on her knee. And
Mm.
now that 78-year-old, she's giving me burpees upon burpees. She's lifting, she's doing this, she's doing that. When she's in her own, because she's a part of my what I call my private Zoom rooms, which are the smaller Zoom rooms.
Yeah.
And I'll say to them, I say, guys, when I met the 78-year-old, I'm doing, man, learn.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Nothing brings a smile to my face than seeing that. You understand me?
Yeah.
Seeing where you couldn't move, you couldn't do certain things to where you're
Yes.
not afraid to take up a 20 pound, you're not afraid to take up a 30 pound. You're going out there and doing a run or a walk without even me asking you to do it.
Yes.
Your doctor even saying to you, no man, you need to introduce me to your trainer because that same doctor refused to believe that is a trainer training her and she lives in Germany
Yeah.
Wow.
and all of this is taking place via Zoom.
Wow.
Excellent.
But how am I going to relate with you? You have to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
This industry now, ladies, I'm going to keep it real with you. You see, if you don't love it, you're going to come out there 3 months later because the money don't come overnight.
Yeah.
It not come overnight.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So 3 months later, you're gonna move on to the next thing because it now pay the bills. When
Yeah.
I just started Dynamic, I had to lean on my husband for the first year. My husband was the one who was taking care of dynamics and the household for the first
And
year.
dynamics was at the household.
And
Right?
dynamic was at the household. Even when I moved into my studio, my husband was the one who set up the studio for me. I couldn't afford to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm coming from? And
Yeah.
for the first year, I still had to be leaning on my husband. Because what? Not because you have a studio means that you make money. We are keep it
Right.
real. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
It is by consistently turning up,
Mm-hmm.
even when the dollars now come in because you believe in your brand.
Yeah.
There are companies I approached for partnership with. I will never forget in 2016. And they said to me, boy, you know, we love what you're doing and thing, but it's just not a part of our vision. You get where I'm coming from? We're fast forward 2018. Those same companies come to me are now, you know, there are companies who I have relationship with. In 2016, when I asked them for $10, you understand me? Them never believe in the brand or seen the brand. When them now come to me in 2018, them can't offer me $10.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? You understand what I'm saying? Those same company, I'll say to them, eh, I ain't posting your thing on my pages. Come make we talk about the business part of it. You get where I'm coming from, but you
Yeah.
have to believe in your brand. There are months I used to work for free. You have to do that to build your brand.
Yes.
You understand me? You have interns now who don't even want to work for free. We're not saying that we're going to we take advantage of a person, but when it comes to brand building, you have to do some free work.
You have to do the work.
That's the reality of it.
So Pat,
That's the reality of it.
I'm glad you stepped into that space about, you know, branding, and as we've seen, you have reinvented your personal brand multiple times. And I think that's a great thing. I tell you all the time that I use you as an example in my workshops to show that it's never too late to start over. And if you have intention, and if you are, as you said, showing up in the right ways, it makes a very big difference. Now, you did mention the fact that you are an official brand ambassador for multiple brands now, which is super amazing. I think one of my proudest moments of you in this capacity was seeing you on the same podium with Usain Bolt as a brand, as the ambassador for the Sigma Run.
That was
Now, to think of your Patrice,
that was major for me. That was major for
and
me.
then
That
to
was
be chosen
major.
to be alongside the fastest man in the world as an ambassador.
Yeah. That was major. That was major for me. That was major for me. That's an opportunity that you can't pay for. You get where I'm coming from? The amount of money that you will get for that or spend for that, it's priceless. Just that, because it wasn't just you saying at the time, you know. It was what that year, Davina.
There was one other person.
It was you
Davina
saying
Benny.
and Davina. I don't remember. Was it the Miss World or Miss
Universe.
Jamaica?
Universe.
Miss Universe. You get where I'm coming from? So you have Miss Universe on one side, and you have the fastest man in the world on the other
And then you have
side.
Pat right in the
And
middle.
little Pat in the middle, and I'm like, Pat, you looked out. I remember literally
Didn't
saying
look out,
that.
Pat. You've done the work.
Yeah, I remember literally saying that to my husband. I'm like, yo, I looked out, and he's like, no, you have done the work. This is the benefit and the rewards now you're getting from the work that you have put into place.
So now that you have this established brand and all these people are reaching out to you, because influencer is the buzzword of this
and I hate that word.
generation, right?
There's two words. There's two words I hate, Naomi. I hate the word influencer, and I hate the word celebrity trainer.
But okay.
No, I hate those. No.
Right? But the reality is, though, Pat, the way that from how you're positioned online, you are seen as the celebrity trainer, which I don't think is a bad thing, but that's not all that you are.
Exactly. And that's why I tell you I hate that word.
Also a very weird word too, right? Because there's influencers and there's influencers. And the reality is anybody can be an influencer right now. But I think it's more about the impact that you have with your audience and the people that you inspire along your journey, which is exactly what you do, which has now attracted a lot of brands to come to you to become their influencer. How do you know, now that you have established this Patrice J White of Dynamic Lifestyle Studio, how do you decide what brands to partner with?
they have to align with what my beliefs are. Because no matter what it is that I do, I must remain authentic to myself. You get where I'm coming from? So I'm a runner. You understand me? I'm a runner, and I also work out in terms of strength training and the craziness that you see me do. So me having an hydration partner, it makes sense. You get where I'm coming from? Because you're gonna need hydration. You get where I'm coming from? Me having a fuel, a protein partner, it makes sense because you understand me. So my partnership in terms of the brands and the companies it is that I represent, those partnerships are, if somebody sees me in that capacity, they're not going to say, hey, because I get paid. You get where I'm coming from?
Right.
They're going to be like, yeah, she used hydration. It is, you know what I'm saying?
It's a part of what she does.
It's a part of what I am. It's a part of my lifestyle. I have had brands come to me asking me to promote their brand. So let me use a perfect example. I have had a company reached out to me. Them sell a tea. Anybody knows me lick out against the tea people. Left, right, and center. You understand me? No, I am not a doctor, but from a medical standpoint, you cannot be doing a detox tea for the rest of your life or every month. That can't healthy. That can't safe. You get where I'm coming from? And the person reach out to me, etc. And they'll pay me this, they'll pay me that. That's not what my program is about.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? So I'm going to tell you no. I have had brands that come to me, want to do partnership with me. You understand me? But their brands are not aligned with me.
Right.
And this is why I say to you that you see the influencer word, I mean, I like it. Because hear what? I have seen influencers out there, like brands using people to promote their stuff, and I'm not buying it. You know why? When I look at you, you understand me? You're promoting something I know instantly you're being paid to do it. You get where I'm coming from? And because you're being paid to do it, I don't know if you genuinely support the product it is that you're advertising.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You have to genuinely dig deep and turn down the money, because sometimes that's some money really come to you. But you have to look on the long-term direction in which you want to bring your brand in. You have to look at that. So based on what, and I recently had this conversation with a company that came to me. I said to them, I said, you can partner with the gym, with the studio, because remember at the Dynamic Lifestyle Studio, it's not everybody that comes there is doing weight loss. Right. You get where I'm coming from? Right. Some persons train because they want to gain weight. Mm-hmm. Some persons train, as Kathy would say, she's not necessarily training to lose weight, but she's training to just maintain a healthy life.
Yes.
Some persons train because they just want to be strong. They want their endurance level to always be there. Yeah. So whatever reason it is that they're training for, there's certain brands that the studio itself can partner with, but they're brands that I, as brand part, cannot partner with. Right. Mm-hmm. You understand me? Because me not drink it. I'm keeping it real. I'm not drinking it. And I said to the company, I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. So the only time I drink your product, you get where I'm coming from, is after I run a 20 miler and I water it out with some water. You understand me?
That's a no for that brand.
Exactly. So that's a no. So, and I asked them the question. I said, would you really want me to be the person who's pushing your product when I am saying to you that I water out your product because I only drink it after I do a 20 miler and I still water it out? Yeah. You understand me?
Really,
and you know what?
Making sure
you know what the company said to me, Naomi? The company said, but part nobody not gonna know that. I said, anything I do, you see, my followers on Instagram, my little dynamic tribe that's over Instagram, them take anything I post as gospel, Yes. So I must make sure that I still remain as authentic as I can to myself.
And you protect your community.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have somebody on my community who genuinely trying to lose weight. You get where I'm coming from? But because them see me promoting this particular item, they're not even knowing that I'm watering it down. and they're drinking it, that can be good for the brand.
Right.
And again, this is why I like the term influencer. You know
That's
what I mean?
fine. I
Yeah,
totally
man, yeah.
agree. And a lot of people
But
don't.
you know what, Pat? I think certainly for a lot of people who are on tonight who did not understand your story is influencing a change in their life right now.
Yeah.
They are seeing themselves in a different light and believing in themselves in a whole different way. And especially persons who are struggling with change, with taking bold steps, that they've seen you make several bold steps, that they've seen how you see a challenge and how you put in the work at every stage, and everything is peppered with passion, with passion, with passion. But you're not afraid to say, this is not working for me anymore. And a lot of us go through our lives just constantly lamenting that this could not be it, but we are terrified to take the steps. We are terrified to start over. You
Yeah.
were
Can't be.
and then you started over with that, started over
From scratch.
scratch. So, influencer or not, you are such an inspiration. I mean, the gems that you've dropped tonight, I know it is time. We have to get into best advice because, I mean, tonight is. I'm sitting here a lot. Much of what you're saying, I couldn't even comment because even for my own life, I'm like kind of like, if Pat can do that, I can do it. I'll tell you a quick Pat story. It would have been 2014, I think, the Grill Half Marathon. And I was running my first half marathon, and you were running with Donovan.
We're done, yes.
And you know how we got that we reached like Clara Hanover, we turned back. And when we turned back, and you said,
we can't cross it.
finish. She said, leave
Yeah,
me,
man.
leave me to die. And you turned around to me and you said, one, finish. Go take your picture. And to this day, I am like, this is the same person. So I believe you're coming from there, but then I'm saying, but I can do this too.
Yeah.
And so as you're going through, and I mean, it's such it's such a pleasure having you on, and so refreshing too, especially at this time, because I know a lot of people are now willing to make some changes and to believe in their brand that they are, and to know that that brand can change when it's not working for you anymore.
Exactly. I think that's a very important reminder.
You should not. The thing about it is, guys, we can't be afraid of starting over. We can't. You see, when we're in business or or even a career, and you hit rock bottom, we kind of tend to wallow into it. You get where I'm coming from? Feeling pity for ourselves and stuff like that. But the reality of it is, we're still alive, don't it? We're still a breathe.
Yeah.
So if we're still alive and we're still breathing, what is there to be ashamed about?
Yeah.
You understand me? The reality of it is, we have all seen it. The president of the United States right now was once broke like us. If you get where I'm coming from. And I'm sure at that time you would have never figured or think that he would have become the president of the United States.
Yeah.
So you cannot be ashamed of asking for help, saying that, you know, when I closed down Bars to Go, people were shocked. You understand me? There was a time frame where I wasn't working, you know, the savings them dry up. No, you understand me? I say, and my broke.
Yeah.
And then now you start thinking of, did I make the right decision? You get where I'm coming from? But then you start look back at, you know, would you have been happy if you continue doing this?
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
You know, I remember, you know, you hear the little comments and the snicker and the talks and stuff like that, etc. But you just have to silence the noise.
Silence the noise.
You have to silence the noise. You understand me? Dig deep and try to find out what your next step is. So my whole process that time was, what was I going to do next? What was going to be my next step? You understand me? I decided at the time that I was going to concentrate on my consultancy. You understand? Which is what I still do. I just don't promote it because I'm a fit brand. You understand me? My consultancy in terms of bar designs, bar development, training, in terms of corporate companies, stuff like that, etc. So that was what I was going to concentrate on doing it. It's just that the fit lifestyle found me.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from?
I almost feel like Pat has already started answering some of our best advice questions in that spiel that she just gave.
Yeah.
I think at this point we need to jump right in. So Pat, what is the best advice that you would give or you have received about love?
Yo, love Rufina. So the best advice I would give, and it's also the best advice that I receive, it's that love is compromising. And when I say it's compromising, it is something that has to be done from both ends, from your partner end and your end. It's two individuals that's coming together, and they're two different personality. You get where I'm coming from? So if you say that you genuinely love each other, you have to be able to compromise.
Yes.
You get where I'm coming from? So love is compromising.
I love that. All right. Kat, that's what you were going to say.
Best advice about money?
Yes.
Oh, anybody know me knows I'm a frugal, I'm a very, very frugal, Yeah, man, I'm frugal, but I have to work very hard for my money. Best advice about money. And I learned this during COVID. You understand me? It is called investment. You get where I'm coming from? COVID has taught a lot of us that passive income is very important.
Yes.
You get where I'm coming from? And that's the income that keeps earning for you over and over and over again without you doing anything. So you have to learn how to invest. It's not about trying to be the Jones to keep up with the Jones. You get where I'm coming from? Think long term.
There are some great opportunities on the market right now. Lots of APOs happening.
Exactly.
All right.
Best advice about health. Your health is your wealth. What does that mean? Do not wait until the doctor say to you that you need to change your lifestyle. Do not wait until you're hit down with a chronic illness. No matter how, a lot of us are driven by, and I'm one of those persons, we're driven by career, we're driven by, building our business, succeeding and stuff like that, etc. But what happens when you become chronically sick tomorrow?
Yeah.
All the hard work that you have been investing in and putting in for years, it just goes down the drain. No matter how much money it is that you have saved, you just need that one serious sickness to come and wipe out that. You understand me? So your health is your wealth. Do not wait until you really need to get healthy to start getting healthy. Start it now.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Do not get married. I got married when I was 19. Do not get married.
Like ever?
I no, to my 20-year-old self, I mean, do not get married at 20.
Okay.
That's what I mean. No, do not get, no, that's what I mean. Do not get married at 20. That's what I mean. Do not get married. I have this conversation with my daughter every day. Look here. We're not getting married until, we're in our late 20s, 30s. You know what I'm saying? Do not get married. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. You get where I'm coming from? And put yourself in the position where it's only about you. You get where I'm coming from? Start ticking off those goals that you want to achieve. Because when you get married, it's no longer your goals. You get where I'm coming from? Remember, I come back again where I say love is about compromise. You understand what I'm saying? So if I had to go back and tell my 20-year-old self, chase down the career.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pat. No, guys, and I'm not bitter.
No, we don't think you're bitter. Pat, this was so awesome. This was a dynamic session.
It was dynamic. We get an opportunity to share people who inspire us so that a wider audience can see just a fuller picture of person and just the potential that they have in themselves because they can see from others. And tonight has been influential, Pat. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for your candid Sergeant Pat. Because I think we did need some of it too for our own life goals and as we are setting them. And thank you for sharing with the world just different versions of Pat, and you just keep coming back stronger. You don't sit back with regret. You're like, this is the me now, and we're going hard.
We're working with it.
And Pat, I believe strongly in taking up space. And thank you for coming and taking up space. I see Sabrina said, proud Merle Grovian. Big up.
Thanks.
Thank you enough for sharing with us tonight, for sharing with our emergers, but so much for the inspiration that you have been and continue to be. And we just pray just tremendous resounding success for everything that you do, and that doors will just continue opening for you as you impact lives. So we just pray amazing things for you, Pat.
Pat, where can people find you?
It's easy to reach me. So out of all the social media platform, the easiest way to reach me is at Patrice J White, my Instagram. Send me a DM. Sometimes there might be a delay in answering it, guys. Can we get no? Send me a DM or just shoot me an email, info@Patrice J White. Ladies, let me use your platform to just give a little bit of advice. A lot of persons have messaged me about it, asking. I've responded to some. I haven't responded to everybody. It's for the up and coming fitness trainers. They always ask me how it is that you, sir, what's one of the things that drives me and keep me being successful? You understand me? And those questions are always intertwined. Guys, you have to always keep on learning your craft. You have to always keep on learning your craft. So one of the things that I used to do before COVID, and it's not everybody's going to be able to do it. So I'll give you what you can do also. One of the things that I used to do before COVID hit the world is I used to travel a lot to go to other gyms.
Yes.
So I used to visit Canada very often to make sure that I just spend time with my brother in his studio, because he's one of the senior trainers at Fit Factory in Toronto, and their gym is like military style. I used to go to Florida, where I go to, I visit, there is a international Reebok trainer there, who she has kind of taken me underneath her wings also, where, she gave me a lot of tips, a lot of advice and stuff like that. And I'd actually go to her studio and do sessions there. You understand what I'm saying? And then I just travel all over and drop into the gyms that I want to learn from.
Yes.
You understand me? Now, for the persons who can't travel, you understand what I'm saying? Guys, the internet is your tool. It's free. As long as you have data, it is there. Just make sure that you're studying your craft, you're staying on top of your craft, and you're staying on top of new trends. So as a trainer, you must lead by example. So how are you going to stay on top of your craft if you yourself are not training? You must lead by example. And by doing that, trust me, the clients are going to find you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you will keep being successful.
Wow.
That was great, Pat. Thanks for giving us that another nugget of wisdom for all the trainers, and not just for trainers, just in general. You should all
life lessons for any area of
learning from your craft, right?
Yeah, in general too.
It's always about mastery.
Always about mastery.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Pat. It was really, really a pleasure having you on our Emerge platform. I know you've been to the events, so it's really great to have you on Emerge Detour Essentials Live. Thank you so much. You guys know where to find her. We're going to say bye to Pat, and we're just going to give you a couple reminders before we log out. That was awesome, guys.
So thank you everybody for joining us again this Wednesday. You can catch us again next week, Wednesday, same time, same place, 8 o'clock on all of our platforms at Ready to Emerge, YouTube, Facebook. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and of course, do not forget to register. We have our workshop next week, Saturday, the 23rd of January, starting at 10 a.m.
Yes.
So don't forget to register, and thanks to Sagicor for making the workshop 100% discounted to you. So it is free of charge to you. So we look forward
what, guys? One of the things, Pat talked about staying on top of your craft. To be able to master the other things in your life, you have to be able to master your mindset and your direction. And it's a constant work in progress as changes come about in our life. And we really thank the team from Sagicor who is also investing in you. And do not let this session pass you. You're getting the value for $0, but you are presenting yourself to receive for those next steps. Don't let the opportunity pass. So I know sometimes when these things come up, you say to yourself, Lord Jesus, on Saturday morning, I know I go to supermarket Saturday morning, but I know I'm going to find time for it. You have to make the time to master your own life. Block the time. So we put everything in place to ensure that this is available for you. We want you there because we're saying up, 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 up in the 2021. Up, up, up. And what we say, when we walk into the room, we turn on the lights, we say, I'm here. Because we're not stepping, we're not tiptoeing.
because we don't want, after next week Saturday, going to hear people talking about all the things that they missed out on, because we don't, like what we said last week, I feel away. We don't want you to feel the way, right? So make sure you register.
Why did I say that again? What was I feeling a way about?
I don't remember.
But if you don't sign up.
Someone asked a very important question. What workshop? Where? On hair? I tell you. It's our Reclaim Your 2020 and Emerge into 2021 workshop. It's a virtual workshop, and it's going to be presented by the Emerge Trio in partnership with Sagicor. It's 100% discounted, which means it's free for you and a friend. So join us on Saturday, January the 23rd, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. On our website or on our Instagram page. There's a link in our bio. It takes you straight to the pre-registrations page, and then you get all the additional information that you need to be a part of our workshop on January 23rd.
Yes, it's no longer pre-registration. It's actual registration now.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for that information, Nay. We appreciate it.
That's what I'm doing. I'm channeling that.
Channel your inner rush. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Have a blessed rest of your week and stay safe. COVID is still keeping, in case you forgot. So don't forget to sanitize, wear a mask, and maintain your social distance. Be safe, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.